Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this opportunity to share our teaching and learning of Islamic with the parents. And then I welcome all the participants in this parent engagement or the workshop for Islamic. I think it's my pleasure to present the overview about Islamic education. How do we teach Islamic in WEC, and what are the activities we carry on, and what do we expect from our students to learn in Islamic, and what could be the impact. So although the parents are less in this session, I can see 3 or 4 parents. Since there are other sessions as well, I can't delay. So inshallah, we'll start it now. So there is a question for any parent, if they could answer. What kind of cup can't hold anything to drink? And there is a cup, it usually holds the water, but this type of cup can't hold anything to drink. You can post your answer on chat. Any guess? I'll count 5 and then show you the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I thought ladies will know this. A cupcake. Cupcake can't hold anything to drink, as you know, and there is a word cup over there. Moving forward, we have our Islamic teachers, mashallah, very well qualified. You can see myself, Sayyid Zakir. I am the head of the Islamic department and Islamic B teacher. I teach year 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And we got another senior teacher, Ms. Fatima Najjar, who is Islamic A teacher. And then we have Ms. Ghazala Shaheen, who has recently joined WEC from another JAMS school. And we have Ustaza Hanadi Sarsak, who is also Islamic a teacher and who recently joined WEC from another school with wealth of experience. And then we have another senior teacher with good experience, Ms. Sujud Koni, Islamic A teacher from year 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have Ms. Farah Firdausi as well, who also has good experience of working in JAMS, especially in WEC, who is teaching year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. And we got another senior teacher, Ms. Nafisa Ali, who was working a couple of years ago in another JAMS school. She has joined 2 years back WEC. And Ms. Nafisa teaches from 1 to 7. And we got another teacher, Ms. Lina Qatami, who recently joined this year, Islamic A teacher. And then we have Ustada Sausan, who is our support for Islamic. Wherever Islamic classes happen and our teachers need support, Ms. Sausan is really, really great in terms of helping the students, in terms of helping our teachers in carrying on teaching and learning. So in terms of Islamic, many parents have, some parents have confusion, like, is it necessary, is it mandatory, or until when the children need to learn Islamic? So you can see here, the Islamic is mandatory from year 2 to year 13. And at WEC, we teach from year 1 to year 13. we teach in year one as well, so that children should familiarize with the Islamic from year one itself. So that would give them the good platform and good understanding or basic understanding when they move to year two, three, and four. And Islamic, we say Islamic A and Islamic B. Islamic A is for Arabic speaking student. If any student who has Arab passport, he would attend the classes for Islamic A, which are taught in Arabic, not in English, and Islamic B for non-Arabic speaking students. And the curriculum which we have in Islamic is well designed by the Ministry of Education, and we are obliged to follow that curriculum. And Alhamdulillah, we do follow in all the manners and its all implications. Now the question arises, what are the components of Islamic? Like in Islamic, what do we teach? Many parents ask this question. So here you can see the overview. First, we teach them divine revelation, which includes Quran and Hadith, and then Islamic belief, and then Islamic values, principles and purposes of Islam, Sirah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, identity and current issues. Inshallah, I'll give you a little bit more detail about this in next slide. In terms of divine revelation, since Quran is revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the Prophet Muhammad and Hadith is the saying of Prophet Muhammad. These two all are called divine revelation, and these are the basics of Islam. Anything which we do in Islam, it goes back to Quran or Hadith of Prophet Muhammad. So in terms of Quran, we do recitation, memorization, and application of tajweed rules, and then knowledge, understanding, and application of Hadith of Prophet Muhammad. And as you know, Islam is built on 5 pillars: declaration of faith, which we say Shahada, then the Salah, prayer, then compulsory giving, which is Zakat 2.5% every year for those who are able to do so, and then fasting in the month of Ramadan, and Hajj to Makkah. So this curriculum is designed in a way that students in primary, they get very brief information about these 5 pillars of Islam. And as the year passes, as they grow older and they go from one year to another year, they will get more detail about this. Say, for example, they have very basic information about all these things, but exactly about zakah, on whom zakah is obligatory, who should receive the zakah, what are the rules and conditions and the terms, all these things they will learn in year 10. Likewise, Psalm and like Hajj. And we got 6 pillars of Iman: to believe in Allah, to believe in His angels, His books, messengers, Day of Judgment, and divine destiny. So usually we do retrieval practices in order for children to understand and remember this. If you look at students' notebooks, especially in primary, you will find these 5 pillars of Islam, 6 pillars of Iman and faith. And then Islamic rulings and aims. This is the third component of Islam. Islamic rulings and aims is like knowledge and understanding of Islamic worship. Whatever we do regarding fiqh, understanding of Islam in our daily life, in practical life, that's called Islamic rulings and aims. And then how to perform them correctly. For example, prayer, the Saum, fasting, Hajj, and Zakah. These are called Islamic rulings and aims because it connected to Muslims' practical life, and they need to know the right way of performing the prayer, performing the Zakah, and performing the Hajj. And then also lawful and unlawful. What are the things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made lawful and halal, and what are the things we need to keep away in Islam, which are called unlawful or haram, recommended and disliked, which is makruh and mustahab. And then apart from this, we teach students the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. Not only Prophet sallallahu seerah, also the seerah and biography of other personalities of Islam. Abu Bakr Siddiq, Umar Farooq, Khulafa ur-Rashidun, and some other Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam, and other great personalities of Islam who had great impact on Islamic history. So biographies of prophets and biographies of Islamic personalities. Then identity and current issues. We also teach students how should they appreciate their own culture and heritage. Living in a multicultural environment in diverse society, there are so many challenges for our students to carry on. So what we do is we teach them to appreciate their own culture and heritage, and also respect and tolerate others' culture as well. That's what Islam teaches us. Understanding of contemporary issues and challenges. And also in senior grades and senior levels, we connect students' understanding to a real life situation. If anything happens in contemporary world, in this modern world, what is the viewpoint of Islam about it? Is it halal or haram, or is it from the Islamic point of view, what should be our stand? So this is an important thing which our teachers do undertake while teaching Islamic. In terms of Islamic values and manners, you can see, and you would agree with me that Islam is all about values and manners. Islam and the Prophet Muhammad was the great example of teaching these values. You can see here charity, compassion, obedience to parents, justice, honesty, peace, patience. In Islamic values, we discuss all these things and we connect this to real life situation. We ask the students, for example, tell us one thing which you have done great last week in weekend. What did you do to please your parent? What was one thing which your parents were happy with you, and you were happy with your parents? Because nowadays there are several challenges. One of those challenges is the interaction of children with their parents, obedience to parents. So this is very, very important thing, and we focus in Islamic on inculcating those Islamic values in children, that they need to obey their parents, and they need to maintain justice, and they need to display honesty, demonstrate honesty, peace, and patience in their real life situation. In terms of assessment, we have assessment for Quran. You can see here recitation and memorization. Quran has two components. So every class has its own surah prescribed by the Ministry of Education, and that surah, that is called surah tracker, which is stuck to students' notebook. And we do two things: recitation and memorization. If child is able to recite, he will get the tick over there with the teacher. Yes, you have recited Surah Al-Infitar from ayah number 1 to 5, 1 to 6. And then the memorization. It is not only recitation, also memorization. And then there are surahs which in the beginning of the year, it will go beyond memorization, understanding. For example, in year 7, we got Surah Al-Mulk. It's recitation, memorization, and understanding. Surah in year 8, we got Surah Ar-Rahman. In year 9, we got Surah Yasin. In year 10, we got Surah Al-Waqi'ah. In year 11, we got Surah Al-Kahf. In year 12, we have Surah Al-Ahzab. In year 13, we have Surah An-Nur. So these are the surahs. In these surahs, children learn how to recite them, how to and they memorize certain verses of that surah, and also they understand the surah as well, because Quran is all about application to real life situation. Children need to understand, and then they apply those rulings to real life. And then there is a written assessment and classwork as well. Moving forward, in Islamic education here at WEC, we collaborate with other departments as well in terms of sharing Islamic values with them and in terms of connecting those values to high performance learning. You can see here we conducted the assembly last time with all the students, including Muslims and non-Muslims, and we shared with them the importance of empathy, concern for society, and respect. And when we got KHDA inspection last year, you can see we have, Alhamdulillah, moved forward from very good to outstanding in terms of understanding of Islamic values and awareness of Emirati and world culture. So the inspectors, they valued our work and they gave very good feedback and rated us outstanding. What are the Islamic activities we have? Uh, you can see on the screen Ramadan assemblies. This is the activity which is in high demand. And before Ramadan commence, 1 week, we conduct the assemblies for each year group, like 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, case 3 and case 4 and 5. Last time was our first experience when we invited our parents physically to watch the Ramadan assembly. Mashallah, it was really a great event, and we were shocked to see many parents coming to WEC to watch their kids performing in Ramadan assembly. We are we thank those parents, and inshallah we expect them to come again this year as well. You can see 265 students performed live on stage, 300 parents attended across primary, and we also called the guest speaker from Dubai Government Islamic Affairs Department to share the significance of Ramadan and fasting and how Muslims can benefit from Ramadan. And next big event was the open morning for parents. When there was open morning for all other departments, we also displayed our best practices during the open morning, which was liked by the parents. And mashallah, they gave a very good feedback. Using the the technology, we shown them how to perform the Hajj, and how in Islamic the rules and regulation can be connected to a real life situation, and how students should be able to link those values or those learning and teaching to their real life. And WEC Quran competition. This is another great competition. Every year it happens, and Alhamdulillah, more than 125 students participated across primary and secondary. And this time we had external judges for Quran competition. You can see on the screen Mr. Rayyan, who is not from WEC. We called him to judge this competition. And mashallah, children, they did really well, and we could feel the impact of this Quran competition on their recitation and memorization. Inshallah, this will happen again this year, and we will in advance notify all the parents and the students what is the portion, what are the surahs they need to learn for this competition. And Alhamdulillah, there are exciting prizes as well. At the end of the competition, after 3 or 4 weeks, we conduct the prize distribution ceremony, and we honor all those students and encourage them to do well again in future in Quran recitation and memorization. Actions and achievements. I am very happy to share with you that last year GNMS Inter-School Islamic competition took place. Our 5 students participated, and 2 of them won first prize in Islamic symposium. Alhamdulillah. And our students participated in GEMS World Academy Inter-School Quran and Hadith competition. One of our students won the first prize in Hadith competition, Alhamdulillah. And then we take our students out of school as well to participate in different Islamic events so that they could have chance and opportunity to meet some of the Islamic scholars and listen to them directly, which would impact on their teaching and learning. So year 10 Islamic students participated in Islamic conference, which was hosted by the government of Dubai at Dubai Expo. Then we organized the guest speakers talk about Ramadan and fasting, which I already said. Okay, now about DSIB feedback, I wanted to share with you. Alhamdulillah, our Islamic department is moving forward. It is improving every year based on DSIB feedback, based on parents' feedback, and based on GEMS core values. Last time we had DSIB inspection. So Alhamdulillah, we moved in second in post 16. And now Alhamdulillah, we are in primary good, attainment and progress both good. In secondary we are good, and also post 16 last year we moved up in progress. That was the Alhamdulillah, a great achievement. But we are aiming to move forward more. We need to improve more, for which Alhamdulillah we have the action plans to do. You can see here what did KHDA say about Islamic education at work. They said students develop an increasingly secure grasp of Islamic principles, creeds, and worship in the primary phase, and then increase ability to memorize and use verses from the Holy Quran and Hadith to reinforce their understanding. Primary students discuss ruling with confidence. Secondary students show a good understanding of the basic of fiqh, including the rules of endowment. Islamic teachers have recently started an Islamic passport approach to raise students' attainment. If you are existing parent, you might notice that we had introduced Islamic passport based on basic principles of Islam, like 5 pillars of Islam, 6 pillars of faith, and Seerah of Prophet Muhammad, basic information, because we realized one year before that there is a huge gap in students' learning. They are at different level in terms of knowledge and understanding of basic principles of Islam. So we introduced the Islamic passport. Each day students would share their information with the teacher, and they would get the stamp at the end of the page. And this year, inshallah, we are going to introduce the passport level 2. That was level 1, and this time, inshallah, we'll introduce level 2 as well. And then KHDS said independent work and research was stronger in post 16 and secondary phase, and then very strong assessment catering to different levels of students. So here I would like to mention that we don't work alone. We believe in sharing best practices, in monitoring, in consistency, and getting feedback from others. So our assessment criteria is really strong, because we three schools work together: James Wellington Academy, Al Khail, which is our school, then WSO, James Wellington Academy, Wellington Silicon Oasis, and James International School, Sheikh Zayed. So the teachers and HODs, they meet each other, and our assessment is unified. So one school prepares the assessment, and it is implemented in all three schools. And then students increasing ability at post 16 to build meaningful connection to everyday life in helping to accelerate their progress. Now, what DSIB recommended was strengthen students' ability to connect in-depth Islamic learning to everyday situations, particularly in the primary and secondary phases. Improve students' ability to quote from the Holy Quran and Hadith. So these are the two recommendation from KHDA. Inshallah, we already started working on this. We have our action plan, and hopefully, inshallah, by next DSIB inspection, we will develop on these two recommendations. So you can see here the Quran. We have Quran tracker in each year group, as I mentioned in the beginning. So this is how it looks like. There is a ayah, and there is a transliteration as well. And once the child says that ayah, recites to the teacher takes it, whether it is developing, securing, or mastering. So there is a criteria given. Developing means working towards the curriculum. The child has not yet able to recite the surah, so he needs to develop, then securing and mastering. There are some digital portals which we use in Islamic lessons. You can see here Edu Islamic, for Islamic A, Islamic B, both. There is Quran.com, which is very excellent site. It gives you the text of Quran. It gives you the audio. Children can listen. Children can repeat it. And if they would like to understand the surah and certain verses, they can use the tafsir book as well, available in this. And then Adnan, the Quran teacher, this also is used. And then we have another portal which you can see here, in which there is a visual library, historical encyclopedia, Islamic history, and Quran as well. So this website gives the basic idea about the Islam. And then we have Kahoot and quizzes. Usually teachers, after teaching the lesson, they use Kahoot and quizzes to know how far children understood the lesson. And we have Bulukit as well. In terms of events and activities, this is an overview. Quran competition, we have Ramadan Assembly, Sira Week, charity campaign, and Iftar program during the month of Ramadan. So this is the overview of Islamic, how we teach and how your students learn Islamic at work. If you have any question, we got 1 more minute. Inshallah, I would be happy to answer your questions. Yeah, Miss Jamal is asking to share this website to the email. Sure, inshallah, I'll ask the teachers to put all these websites on Padlet so that you could find it at one place, inshallah. So if there is no question, then I'll conclude here. Thank you so much for those who joined this parent engagement session. I hope it is useful and beneficial. And inshallah, we'll continue our work in Islamic, and we will be in touch with all the parents in terms of teaching and learning. And we would like your feedback. And please, if you feel anything, if you need any support, any help from our teachers, from any point of view, please write back to us. We'll be always there to help you. It is our collective responsibility to inculcate those Islamic values in our students. Thank you so much. Jazakumullahu khair for your participation.